Hi everyone, happy to be with you all today. And we got another guest today who is Matthieu Maitreya, and he is from France, currently living in Lyon. So he's an awakened soul, as you could see. You will understand the way how he speaks and when he shares his wisdom. It would be more clear to us. And he's actively working for PSSM France. He gives his wisdom every Monday in PMC France channel. And apart from that, he has his own YouTube channel called The Practitioner, and he has his own company which share about meditation, about his wisdom, which is called La Dharma. And you can see all this information in the website called buddhamaitreya.fr. So with this information, let us call our guest Matthieu to speak with us, and let it be, it's going to be kind of interactive. I ask to Matthieu how it is going to be, how his experiences are, and um, so yeah, Matthieu, we are happy to have you today. And please, apart from how I introduced you, uh, with your own words, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you are currently, who you are, little bit.
Hello everyone, Matthieu here. I'm glad to be in your presence today. Thank you, Haputa, to welcome me here on this place. I'm very happy and honored to be here and share a part of my journey with you and with the viewer on this channel in real time or in replay. Um, who am I? I'm Matthieu. So it was my name given by my parents at my born. I'm at birth on this planet around the 80s. And I'm someone who has traveled as everyone in the world and after inside myself. And that's how I start my journey on this wonderful planet Earth in this time. And I am now happy to be here, glad to find finally my inner peace, my inner joy, my enlightenment because of what? Because of one day in my life around 2017, August the 2, I enlightened myself on this day. So I'm very happy to be here and share a little bit who am I and what I have traveled in my life concerning this journey of someone who has learned to know himself for his enlightenment.
Amazing. That's very how to say enlightening, the way how you said yourself who you are. From that itself, it shows that so you didn't only want to travel in the outside world, but you also wanted to travel within yourself.
Mm.
And that's when you found yourself in the year 2017, where my Matthieu has become Matthieu the Maitreya. So, so before you were a simple Matthieu, and after 2017, once you got your enlightenment, you became Matthieu La Maitreya or Matthieu the Maitreya. Such an interesting, how to say, life story.
Mhm.
So, so, ho- so um, how did you do this inner journey, and what made you to do this inner journey, and what does it mean when you say inner journey? I know outer journey. I want to go to Paris.
Mhm.
I want to go to, Germany. I go India. I go. But what exactly does it mean when we say inner journey?
Mm. Um, Habuta, it's a good question you ask. Why? Because everyone has this intention to go where their heart wants that they go. And as everyone around my young age, approximately at 20 years old, I was in this part of my journey to go outside of the world and discover the world. And I was with a friend, and we go in Europe. We have this opportunity to travel with train, like a free pass on 1 month to do every. We can take every train we want to travel in Europe. And with my friend, we have traveled as a young man who discovers the world by traveling. And my inner journey start by going outside of myself by traveling in 1 month with a friend of mine. And that's it's very strange to say, oh, you start your inner journey by going outside. Yes, because this wish was very strong in myself and push me out of me to I don't know what, but to go outside to do the first step to walk on this journey, to travel on this journey, to to really walk or travel. And this part to go outside, the more I was going outside, the less I found a solution. It was like the more I go, and to something I was in the position of testing limits to know where I can go until I found some stopping invisible walls to say, oh, okay, I can't go further because after I'm not very in mood, I'm not very good, and so on. And on this journey of going outside by traveling on train with my friend. At one limit I found, it was when I was around in Republic Czech Republic. There was something happened there, and I was not sure what is happening. But when I come back in France, they discovered that I had an ill something not very well at my lungs, and it's and after that. The doctor see, and they see that there was something not very normal at my lungs. And I learned after that that I receive a tuberculosis illness, and that start of okay, I can't go further because after in me it suffer. So that was one of limit I experienced by going outside of myself because of very passionate man who want to practice only fiesta and drinks and so on, and it was not very good for me. And my life say to me, no, no, you don't have to go there. Come back here. And that's why it start for me to not I at that time I was very blocked, and I can't go further because of this illness in me. So I was obliged to stay, to not do anything because of my lungs not very clear. And I stay around 1 month in hospital to do nothing. Approximately the same times I start my journey outside with this train travel. So at that time, I received this lesson to not go outside because outside there is no life because of the life he was in is in me. So I reconnect with myself by recovering my lungs, my wealth, and that's starts my inner journey by seeing clearly sign of not going out because of this reason. And because of that, okay, I was in my life. Sometimes there was this episode going again and again. After that, I was in this journey of knowing myself. I found opportunities to go on Buddhist centers to learn meditation, to know more what is going on inside myself. And there was some blockage. I go on this place, but sometimes the monks say, no, no, you don't have to stay. You have to go back to your normal life. And at that time, say, wow, what's happening? I want to know myself. And they say, no, no, you don't have to. You have to work again and again. But there was no solution, so I still continue to go outside. And at that time, I start to go on Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle. In France, it's a very main walking path to go until the Spain to find a destination for pilgrim. Voilà. And
Okay.
that time was the same episode. They find me on the walk on the path, and they say, "Oh no no no, you don't have to be here. You have to go on hospital." And again, I was taken by life to go back and not going outside, not going outside, not going outside. And that time it was illness, mental illness appears discovered in me. And again, it was another sign to say, no, you don't have to go outside, you have to go inside.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow, such a wonderful travel, Matthew. So you started off by going outside. You went all over the European countries along with your friend. And all of a sudden, you remembered yourself, or you remembered yourself. The farthest you go outside, you couldn't find some solution. Kind of the solution is going away from you, isn't it? You didn't get that ultimate satisfaction, if I'm not wrong. And at the end of the day, when you returned back to France, you got admitted in the hospital because they diagnosed tuberculosis in your body, and that time helped yourself to be with yourself, to understand, to uh, to spend time with yourself, and that was the first initial moment. And how was this journey? How was, because you said you were traveling for all over the European countries for almost a month,
Mhm,
and this hospital situation was also for almost a month.
mhm,
So how did you, because you were a youngster, you
mhm,
were in your 20s, and you always wanted to go outside, but you felt that something is missing. But
mhm,
when you came and you sat in that hospital situation with that body, don't know, with that illness, how how did you, manage that situation? Were you mentally stable? Were you happy? How did you perceive that
mhm.
situation?
Yes, good question, Apota, good question. At that time, I was in a mood of having returned from my happy travel outside, but because of a lungs problem, it was very difficult because um, those who don't know how tuberculosis is treated, it's please listen this. There is for the one who has tuberculosis illness, the person is on a room. Only this person is on the room, and only the person can normally breathe as everyone actually. But those who enter in the room has to put mask to not breathe the same air as myself because of illness possible in the air of because me breathing in and out. So this was like a cocoon, we can say something like this, and not possible for me to go outside of this room until they treat myself with medicine and so on. So when I receive some person in visiting me, they put some mask and they can talk with me, but they can't stay more than 10, 15 minutes because of air circulation. And at that time, me, I was very young, 20, yes, around 20, 25, and I was very uh, sad because of at the same time my girlfriend at that time when she saw me very ill, she quit me and it was not very possible for me to be very happy at that time because also for this reason. So I was very alone on my room, and at that time, I was only my parents who visit me to reconfort a little bit me. Um, Also, I was in a mood of not having something to do, so I learned. I was not very. I don't really understand what is happening exactly. I was just in ignorance of myself, not having some solution of what has I have to do. I was just here and not knowing Buddhism. It was too early of knowing Buddhism, so I didn't have learned at that time meditation and breathing, the breathing techniques and so on. So I was just not wasting my time, but not very in a mood of doing something good. So I start to learn Japanese. uh, I have time at that time, and because I'm very fan of Japanese animation and manga and so on, I start to learn a little bit Japanese. Not enough to speak Japanese, but enough to um, to manage my time at that time. And after that, I reconnect when I was meditating on one past life where when I was in Japan, and it was it appears that it was old memories of my ancient life.
Oh, that's amazing. So when did you discover this past life that you were in Japan? That recently after started doing meditation or during that? Okay, recently you discovered that.
Yeah, it's appear many years after when I embrace the way of meditator, meditating many hours on a day, and one time in my meditation, I reconnect with my past life and all the well, all my life. Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh my God, it's so interesting and fascinating. So maybe we will also have the possibilities when we meditate like you for meditating for a long time and understand about ourselves.
Mm.
So, okay, so I understand. So you made use of your time wisely. You read this book, you started learning languages in spite of the disease, in spite of the illness. You were strong, and in spite of your girlfriend who broke up with you, but still you didn't let the hope, to go away. But you were courageous enough. And yeah, that's something that I inspire from you. That even though the times like difficult time like this, you still learn something new. So that start learning a new language. And, that's
Mhm.
so interesting. And 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 before you said, when you were going to the Buddhism center, they were saying you, no, this is not the place for you. You have to go to your normal life. And
Mhm.
then when you started doing this soundtrack, say soundtrack compostel, there also you found that you were you were not mentally good,
Mhm.
and you came back to hospital. You said, yeah.
Mhm.
So why did because you wanted to be with yourself. You found something good being with yourself. You wanted to explore maybe more about this inner journey. That's why you went to this Buddhism center. But why did they ask you? You have any idea to go back and to lead your normal life?
Mhm. Um, The question, if I hear correctly, correct me if I'm wrong. You ask why they react as this. Okay, they react as this, as I understand now, is for the next reason. I was in a time in my life when I had a job, and this job, because of some reason, I quit my job. It was not my wish, but my company decided to that I don't have anymore a job, and I was in a part in my life when I start again my inner journey. And it was the time when I start to know Buddhism. So I interest myself with the story of Buddha Shakyamuni at that time. At that time, I see a movie on his journey, and of someone who's suffering and find a meditation to liberate himself from suffering and get enlightenment and become a Buddha, Siddhartha
Mhm.
Gautama, Buddha Shakyamuni. And so I was very inspiring of this story of this prince who has become a very spiritual guide, as we mm, in one week we will celebrate his birth, enlightenment, and death on the 15th May. Purina, I guess.
Purnima, yeah.
Purnima.
Buddha Purnima.
Buddha Purnima. And so I was very inspired by this man. So I start to know better him, and that's how I start my journey, my inner journey with finding some place where his teaching still is alive, thanks to the practitioner and the monks and the masters on this spirituality, Buddhism. And so, okay, I start to go on this place around in France. There is many center as we can find easily as Pyramid Center and other center equivalent. And some one day I was on 1,000 Buddha center in France. It's called like this. And I meet a monk, and after a guided meditation by this monk, I decide oh, maybe I would like to be a monk. How do I do that? And it was not very clear for him and me, maybe at that time, why he respond as this. And I found that when I asked and when he said to me, no, you don't have to be a monk. You have to be uh, again someone who work in the world. Um, I was in a position of knowing myself at that time, and I don't really understand. At that time, I don't really understand why he respond as this. For me, it was very clear that if I had this wish to be a monk, I just have to ask and I become a monk. But after, when I reflect on this, I say, oh, maybe it's just because this man cannot guide me on this path, and I have to find by myself this inner journey and not having someone who tell me where to go, how to do. And that was very again and again to, okay, I have to find what is inside me, and nobody. It's like in in a in a computer games when you start, you wake up on on the computer game and you have nothing, nothing, no clothes, nothing, no arms. You are very level zero. And I was in this position, okay, I don't have any help, any object, anything to help me. So I have to do that all by myself.
Mm.
And that's why I decide, because I'm not finding someone who can help me on this position, to go on Saint-Jacques de Compostelle, to walk for my body, to train my body again and again, to help my body to anchor maybe some wisdom. And by walking, maybe I will find more solutions than just meditating. And that's how I understand this part of my life of having to be alone, to be on the way, uh, and this inner journey start by walking, to anchor in me this reality of something we can find when we meditate, and find inner walk.
Okay. This is very interesting. So they said to you that no, this is not the place for you. Now I understand because not how to say only when you do the doctora, you have to be with yourself. No one is there to guide you. So there are teachers for if you do your college, if you do your university, there are teachers to teach you. But if you are in the level of doing doctorate, I think it's your responsibility to do by yourself. I see like that, and that master maybe he understood that you have this capacity of doing things by yourself, and maybe that's the reason why he wanted you to go back and to be and that is one of the reasons I would understand, and also to be in the middle path, maybe to be the society at the same time, not maybe if you were in that monastery today, you were another monk, simply another monk, but see now today you are in the society, and with the help of your wisdom you make plenty of others to attain what you have attained, then the enlightenment. um, so this is, yeah, this is what we need in the day, in this time, especially as more and more people like me who are searching for the wisdom to as how you were putting questions maybe 10 years, 20 years before. I also saying asking, putting the same question. Many of us like me who want this guidance. Um, So then, okay, so you understood about the practice, about the meditation in this Buddhist center. Is that the one afterwards you started practicing, or something else you started practicing? When did you really start, practicing meditation every day?
Mm.
When was that happened?
Mhm. Yeah, Arputa, this walk, this inner journey will start when I quit my job. Again, it's not my wish to quit my job. My boss said, no, you have no job anymore. And when I was at around 2007, I was on that time at that time where I don't have any solution to go beyond. Informatic, it was my quality of work, no more informatic. So I was only on starting my inner journey by seeing this movie on Buddha Shakyamuni, and I start to go on a website called Damadana, I guess, a French or Swiss man who created this French, because it's also in French, website. And there was many information concerning meditation. So I also learned to meditate by my own. My mom has at that time a book called Living and Dying of I don't know in English. Sogyal Rinpoche written this book, Living and Dying, something like this. La vie, le livre tibétain de la vie et de la mort. The Tibetan Living and Dying book, something like this in English.
Life and death of a Tibetan master. What was the?
Tibetan master Sogyal Rinpoche.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Mm.
And so I started this book, but it was very difficult to understand. It was more than philosophical than more practical. So I just start to meditate as a practicing sitting meditation and walking meditation, the very basic meditation. So in my apartment in Lyon, I was at Colline de la Croix-Rousse, a very nice place at Lyon. And when I was meditating at my apartment, I meditate 1 hour, and after I go down to the hill, and I was going to the park, the Parc de la Tête d'Or in France, very nice place also. And I was by being on the hill, sitting meditation, going down to the hill, walking meditation, and again on my journey to do this almost a part of this time just doing meditation. And that after that I start to go on on a Vipassana retreat by Senguenka. In France, there is some place like this, and there was an opportunity for me at the source in Paris around 2007 to practice 10 days of Vipassana meditation. So I start and okay, I would like to participate. So at that time, I participate. It was very, very, very good. Very difficult, but very, very good. And I was very happy to practice at that time. And it's happening very strong thing at that time. At that time, I see some very things that even I don't really realize at the time what's happening, what's going on in me. I see many things in my mind, also in my consciousness, and very lots of images coming into me, and I see a very futuristic scene who can be very appreciate of in a film like Star Wars, because I see some very big starship and some human in on Earth, and the human on Earth had a big metallic skeleton, and it's very futuristic vision. So I don't really know what it was, but it was very immersive. I was very in this feeling. I say, oh, maybe I see something very profound. The reason is because we were maybe 15, 20, 25. I don't really know how many people we were practicing meditation, and there was a big energy. So because of my sensibility, I was very open to many things coming from beyond. And so what's happening at that time? Um, there was some difficulties with um, the the main character of the center. They invite me to quit the center. After 7 days, normally it's 10 days, but after 7 days, they say, oh no, you can't stay anymore at this place, you have to go. And they don't really know what's happening. They don't say to me what's the real reason. And after that, I understood that I was in a position of not being enough capable to maintain myself in me. So I was more than um, in a position of being maybe hurting people. I don't really know, but something shows some signs that I was not prepared to do more at that place. And still, after many years, and last year, I asked to go again. But because of the historic things, they say, no, you can't go, you can't go, you can't go. But there is no more problem in it. But for us, because also after of mental illness, they say no, no, you can go. They prefer to not have some troubles or issue with a participant like me because of after maybe some other problems. So at that time, my inner journey was very difficult. So because of not finding, so after that, and that's the episode where I go to the Tibetan monastery. I would like to be a monk. And they say, no, no, you have to return to the normal world. And that's the time where I start to go to Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle. So that's the order.
Okay, okay, now it makes sense. So the first triggering point for you was that movie, Buddha Shakyamuni movie. So can you please tell me exactly what's the name of the title? I just to um make note of that for the future reference.
Yeah, yeah. Normally, if I remember uh, the correct name, is
Dam
Dhammapada.
Dhammapada, I think.
Non, c'est Dhammapada. Dhammapada. Dana. It's Dhamma. It's not Dhammapada like uh, um,
It's not it's not Dhammapada Dhammapada. It's not that.
Dhammadana.
Okay.
Dhammadana.org. Ah, ok. Dhammadana.org. I can give you on the chat the reference.
Yeah.
Dhamma, Dhammadana. Dhammadana. Dhamma like Dhamma, and Dana like the gift in Pali. And that's the main website at that time I learned. And from here, on this in his website, there is a video part, and on this video part, you can find his video about Buddha.
Okay. So that's good. Even at that time, they had this video website, everything. Very good. That
Yeah,
they,
the original video, it's in link with this. The man was a Swiss man who was as me, and he quit everything to be a monk. I guess in Thailand, if I correct, if I'm correct. And at that time, he filmed his journey. So when he come back, he all do a footage and he put on this on his website.
okay. Very good. Oh my God, that's so interesting. So, okay, so that is so strange. So, 7 days you were there and you started getting plenty of experiences and you did nothing to the people, but still somehow they felt that you were having something extraordinary, or I don't know what happened, and they didn't want you to be there. And even today, if you go back, and that is the same case, yeah, well, which means there is something, in the life which always giving you some time
Mm.
um, to to discover something new, or to rebuild yourself, to the very first time when you were in the hospital bed, it was not that that was the challenge, the challenge that we see, that it is a difficult situation. Oh my God, why is it happening? But every time the challenging situations happened, only
Mm.
at the time you started growing. Only
Mm.
at the time you started putting questions. And then the second time when they chose you out of the job, then again that was the time you wanted to understand yourself. You started watching this Damadana, and then after this later, you started going and practicing Vipassana. It's amazing, amazing journey, Maitreya. And afterwards, so it started happening. So 2007, you lost your job, and then later on, some years later, you went to Vipassana after some years. 2010, something like that, maybe. I don't know.
Um, after Vipassana, Vipassana it was around 2009. Um,
2000.
after 2009, after the some not possible to be a monk around 2009 in August. I start my journey of walking on Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle ou pass, and I start on Le Puy-en-Velay. It's almost at the main at the center of in France around, and I start from this point because it's a very classical start of this pass. Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle is there is four pass on for Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle in France, and I guess it's the second or the third the pass who go from north to Spain. And I start at the Puy-en-Velay. So I prepared my backpack. I start with my shoes and everything to go on this way very normal as every uh, in French we say pèlerin, so those who walk on the path. I don't know in English. Um,
Pilgrim.
pilgrim.
Yeah.
Yeah, pilgrim. So I was a pilgrim and I start to, as everyone, walking around 20, 25 kilometers per day to find my inner peace by walking. So I start by being from step to step. So by being in auberge de jeunesse, or a place we can sleep at the night, and paying money and so on. Sometimes I was alone, sometimes I was with some friends, but most of the time alone. Um, and I was like some of pilgrim who has their backpack. Sometimes they remove some piece of the backpack because it's too heavy to carry. So some people as myself, I remove some part I don't really need to have a less weight on me and can and more being at ease for my work. But me, in my case at that time, I was a little bit extreme. I removed everything except one piece of clothes, a ball, and someone who give me like a blanket. Only this on me, naked, barefoot, and I was walking like this on this path. I renounce of everything except these three things.
Oh,
I was in a very position of little bit extreme of my practice, and something in me wanting that I really renounce of most of I had, and it caused me some troubles because of not being as a normal person because of this attitude. So I was walking. Sometimes I was sleeping on abandoned cars or abandoned houses, and I was in some place because of not having not enough money or not something on me. I found some place and just sleep. Sometimes I was sleeping in the forest. It's very difficult to sleep in the forest.
hopefully it was not winter time.
Yes, yes, it was spring, summer because it was July. But even it's in July, in forest, it was a little bit cold. I remember one time there was nothing to only the ground, and there was I can't sleep because of a big house where there was lots of noise and people doing a fiesta. And me, no, no, I can't sleep. So yes, something like this, very wild period of my life of being very at nature, and also good memories also because of seeing the river at some place very quiet, very happy. Yes, very simple.
Ah, I can never imagine when someone from France could do this out of all the comfort that you guys generally have.
Mm,
Generally, even though you don't work, the government supports.
mm,
But in spite of all this support and everything, if you are able to do this, I understand how big your soul is and how a how an old soul you are.
mm,
And yeah, very much inspiring. So you've been into this. Okay, you 2009 you started walking, started exploring. Uh, you spent most of your time during this with the nature and w- how okay this journey happened and afterwards what happened till 2017.
mm. Yeah, and from 2009 until 2007, until my enlightenment, there is 8 years where there was lots of change. When I was on the on the on the path of Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle. One day, because of not having anything, I was asking my food every day, asking charity for those who want to give me some food. And one day was not as the other day. An old woman, gave me some food, and I was on the I sang to her and I go a while far away from her and to eat my food of the day. I was meditating on a place where I don't disturb anyone. I was in a quiet place. And when I was meditating, some person of the government, a police officer, comes to me. There was maybe two or three. I was meditating. I was eyes closed, and they asked me something, and me, because of not doing anything wrong, maybe it was a mistake. I don't respond to her. I was just only meditating, saying nothing, and it appears that it was not the good attitude, and they start to ask something for me not responding, and was not very the good things to do, and they ask. Firemen. In France, firemen has the abilities when there is someone in danger to take the person and carry the person with the truck on the hospital if it's needed. And the policemen discuss with firemen and they decide to take me and put me again in hospital.
Okay.
So because of not responding in France, I was just okay. So after when I realized that even if I don't say anything, they can do what they want. I see that it was not a very good idea to not say anything. So yeah, I start to see a doctor, and this doctor asked me some question. How long I was on this path, what's happening in my life, and so on. And it was almost 1 month. I didn't talk to someone except for my food. So I was difficult to just say three words one after one. So he said, "Oh, there is a problem with this guy. We have to return him close to his parents." So, because I was almost after 1 month of working, I was around at Sousse in France. They take me and put me on a car, and they back me to my parents' place around Lyon. And my parents, because of seeing this advice from the doctor, they was a little bit afraid of my health condition, so they decided that I had to go on a psychiatric hospital, maybe with in accordance with the doctor. So I start my journey to be at a psychiatric hospital, and people as mad people around me.
Mm.
And that part was a little bit difficult. I was very angry at that time because of people like my parents or doctors saying that I an ill person, but it was just because I ignoring myself. I was walking since 1 month barefoot, and my inner journey start to go inner until my head. And that was after I understand this inner journey as this. I walk until finding the my enlightenment, because my enlightenment is here. So because something was blocked here, they decide, oh, maybe he has ill problem. He has to go further. But at that time, I was very angry also because of not realizing myself. So this episode in my life helping me strangely in my enlightenment, but it was like a trampoline to go beyond. I was in this hospital with mad people, and they gave me some drugs to be healed. But the drugs gave me more hallucination than expected. So I start to find to see many things in my mind or in my consciousness. Sometimes I was seeing the Dalai Lama giving prayers and many things. Okay, oh, okay, and it was very inspiring, in fact, but very also trouble in a troubled situation because of not having this full ability to know myself. I was seeing those things, but I was not sufficient enough to realize what is going on in this state. So, because of having learned Vipassana meditation in the hospital, I was I was practicing walking meditation in the garden, and after sitting meditation as I could, and I found many opportunities, even if I don't really have a good mood because of having lots of depression. Hallucination and so on. Sometimes I find some quiet response as a sign of going in the good way. And
Mm.
that part was very difficult, and but in a way, it was the transition from the, um, the external world to the inner world. I really understand this as that.
Wow. So, so out of your experience, I can relate that
Mhm.
we always have, we are always protected, we are always taken care of by this nature.
Mhm.
Because at one point you couldn't get any food at all in the nature when you were in that stage, and you didn't take care of your body, and you wanted to just focus at your enlightenment, and you forgot your body, and you didn't give food, and I think you were not even able to eat, speak, because your body was not reacting. And nature sent those police, and they took you, and they sent them, sent you back to put you in the hospital, and then from there they sent you to your home place, and then again sometime, the peaceful time, even though the situation is tough, but they put you in this mentally retarded people's place. And amazingly, the drugs that they gave you, it was helping you in your spiritual journey.
Mhm.
God, so what a divine plan, that you traveled.
Yeah.
Uh, very glad. And okay, so this happened till what year this happened?
From this part, so it was around 2010, 2011. After a while in this psychiatric hospital, I start progressively to go out from a psychiatric hospital to community. At the start, a very small community. Um, a Catholic community, but not practitioner, Catholic practitioner community, just some people who normally is on on the street, who sleep on the street. Sometimes they can go on that place, and they have created a community called l'Oasis in France. And this community is composed of many people who normally has me working on Saint-Jacques-de-Compostelle, having no job, nothing. They group on this place, and they work together. So I was a part in my life on this community by just helping to repair some informatics gift that people give, to return to have some of a small amount of money for helping the community to work. So I stay at that time, but this community was not sufficient enough for me in spirituality. So I was again and again when I had time to spend to practice meditation, walking meditation, sitting meditation. And it was a little bit in dissonance with the community because of they don't have this practice. So it's happened one day because of still medicine or drugs giving to me some hallucination, and they one day they see me not very in good mood, so they take me back to the psychiatric hospital, and I do a second stay on this place until I found now another place in close to Lyon with other people who has in rehabilitation in their life. And I spent a little more at that community before I start to go on my first Buddhist community. So I was very happy to find finally a center who can welcome me in my condition. And I found the community of the Karmapa. So it's the main person in a Buddhist tradition, one of the four lineage of Tibetan Buddhism, Kagyu lineage. So I was on this place close to Lebost. It's a nice, very nice place. There is a small community, and an old master called Gendu Rinpoche was present at that time. But when I say at that time, it was before me, because when I arrived, um, he was passed away uh, some years before I arrived. So I don't really see this man, but I found a very good monks present here, and I was very happy to start finally my real aspiration of practicing meditation. So I start many practice such as reciting mantra, doing prayers, giving offerings, um, connecting with the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and also deities such as Tara, woman ones. And I was very happy to be in this small community. And I decided to start the um, 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days retreat. It's in Tibetan a very famous retreat. Those who start uh, this um, this retreat, they enforce their practice. They are in a closed place. Nobody can enter on this place except those who gave them some food and so on. But because of my illness history, I still need at that time a medicine person to give me some treatment. So because of this condition of this place very close, not somebody external from the practitioner to enter, they say no, you can't do this retreat. You have to find another solution. So I was prepared because I do the 2 months preparation retreat, but for the 3 years, 3 months, and 3 days, it was not possible. So I was a little bit disappointed. And at the same time, a friend of mine, was at that place, and he gave me a solution. He said, maybe you can go to Thich Nhat Hanh community. It's close to Bordeaux, and maybe you can find some opportunity for you to practice meditation. It's a very good master very very good community. You can go there and say okay, and I joined this one retreat proposed at that time, and I start by staying 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and after I asked to be a laik long term, a long term laik. It means that I can stay more than only few free retreats. And again and again, I start and I stay almost 3 years on that community. It was my very first big experience in meditation and in a community close to a famous master, very good master. Uh, Even if I was not a very quiet person because of having lots of anger in me, but a very very good person, this guy, because it helps me to recognize my anger. So thanks to this master, very very glad to. So I start meditation, walking meditation in mindfulness because he's a master of mindfulness. He eat in mindfulness, he walk in mindfulness, he walk in mindfulness, he drinks his tea with mindfulness. It was very inspiring to see this master, very very quiet and very inspiring. So it's helped me a lot, and it's helped me also to 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 pass from medication to meditation, because at that time I was still with the medication treatment in me. I was with a psychiatric some one time in a month. So she start to give me some information or advice about my health condition, but I was conditioning with this medication. And still, if I had this medication, after 1 month, some troubles comes to me again and again, like seeing some monks persecuting me, and it was just hallucination. So I was in a position between the external world and the inner world. And the medication, if I still at that time, if I still take medication, I couldn't be more. I would not be able to go further. So I decided to stop medication and replace by meditation. And that's the transition slowly helps me to find a solution in myself, by myself, for myself, to this oneself, this inner peace. And this meditation start to infuse in me, and more and more. I quiet myself. I was more and more calm. And also around me, I see more people again and again. I was seeing people who was suffering. I was not enough capable to heal every suffering in me, but I started to see some suffering from others, sadness, anger, jealousy, and many, many things behind the appearance of themselves. And that was very difficult at the beginning because even if I was in a group or community, I still find alone in even if it was this group. It was very strange feeling, but I was not integrated to the group. Even if I had do my best, I was in a position where, because I'm not having realized the path, I was not very in a good mood. And but in the same time, I discover many inner realization, such as being a bee, being a tree, being nature in general. I see many signs very indicate me that I'm in a good position, in a good direction, and I still continue to find more and more solution in myself by realizing some very small things, and that's tamed my mind, tamed my attitude, tamed everything in me, and I was very very happy.
Hmm.
So we arrived at that time. We arrived at 2013. Um, After that, there was some problem in the community. They can't uh, s- uh, they can't let me. I can't stay anymore in this place because of some materialistic problem. So they asked me to leave 6 months from the year. But all where I go if I stay only 6 months on the place, the only solution it was to return to my parents' place. So I decided no, it's not possible. I have to find another center to continue my practice. And at 2000, so from 2012 to 2015, I was at Plum Village. And after 2015 to 2022, I was at KMC Buddhist Center. It's another tradition of Tibetan community where it's close to Le Mans, and I spent 6 years at that community as a practitioner, um, and not possible to be a monk as in the Plum Village and so on. So I continue my practice by being myself. At that community, I start by being I following a retreat, and after 1 month, they decide. I ask, and they decide, okay, you can stay, you can be um, a person, a resident of this place, and I continue my practice. And at that time, my meditation was very intense. On from 2005 to 2015 to 2016, I was doing good progression because of not having more medication and practicing meditation every day. I intensing my practice until at the beginning of 2007, where I concentrate myself very a lot. Feelings was very going up and up and up. And one day at March 2007, there was a big shift at that time. I was meditating, and uh, like a fire in me was burning until I say, "Oh, what's happening in me? It's not as every as usual." And I was in a position would not I couldn't stay on place without going out from the room. So I start I going out of the room and going out of the place, and I go in the forest. Who was beyond across the road, and it was in March in afternoon. I was in t-shirt outside. It was a little bit cold outside, but because of the fire in me, didn't have. Uh, I was not cold, and there was this burning fire in me who was burning, and me. I say, what's happening? I can't stop this. I will maybe I will die. It's very difficult for me to maintain this fire in me. So I sat on the at the foot on the big tree in this forest, and I wait until this fire reduce. And after maybe 3, 4, I don't know how hours uh, happen, uh, the fire reduced. And when the fire was not anymore burning in me, I was a little bit more quiet. So finally, I can return to the place. And, um, and from this date, I understood that something has changed in me. And the fruit don't late too much because after 3 months after, I enlightened myself. There was 3 months where my meditation intensified, and I recollect my old past life. I was seeing very clearly in myself. I start to find more realization, like le calme stable, stable calm, a realization that it's called as this in Tibetan, and joy appears spontaneously, like this, with no reason, just happening. Oh, I'm happy, like this, and just okay. And after a few months in July, in August 2000, on the 2 August 2007, around 3 o'clock. I was meditating in close to a pine tree, and it was very nice place at that time. There was not so much people because there was at the main place. It was a holiday. And for me, I was here, and maybe it was around 4 hours I was meditating. And I said, oh, maybe it's enough for me to meditate. So I stopped to meditate. And it's happened when I open my eyes, I see the world being completely blank. The word, it comes to me when I testimony of this experience, but it was very like the night in the day. It was all black like the night, and also a very strange feeling of seeing everything fixed except me moving. And at that time, uh, I realized instantly in my mind this thought comes to me in French. Je suis le Bouddha Maitreya, je me suis éveillé. I'm Buddha Maitreya, I enlightened myself. And what's the realization I received at that time? And after many information comes to me, such as the three rotation of Earth, the movement of the sea, and many information comes to me. And at that time, a very satisfaction of being here, having nothing to do anymore, having finished my human life, and very satisfied of this situation. And at that time, nothing, very, 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 nothing's happening, nothing to ask, nothing to do, just be, and that's
Wow,
it.
that's marvelous. Mm, by hearing itself, it is like I could feel the joy and the pleasure what you experienced, and you you were very patient. You know, whatever happened in your life, you didn't let this meditation to go away from your life. You kept hold of this meditation. You were meditating. You are definitely this my uh, Maitreya. Yeah, and that's fantastic experience, Matthew. So, so you became yourself enlightened 2017, and meditation is the key.
Mm.
You were doing meditation, and you while walking, you were mindful and doing meditate, practicing that meditation, and eating whatever you learned from Thich Nhat Hanh, and yeah, wherever it was possible, you were kept on meditating, spending time with yourself, and you made it. And so, meditation is the key. What I could understand, if we want to understand ourselves. So once we understand the the benefits, as I could see now. through you, that we are always happy and joyful and blissful, and that's what we are looking for. You don't have maybe a big house, or don't have maybe too many cars, or you don't have uh, uh, CDI, you don't have a fixed job, or or you don't have anything, but you are happy. That's what the basic need of being a human being. That's what we are looking for. And and okay, so meditation, one point I learned through you, and that is I am not going to leave it at any point of my life. And I also heard from you saying that you been a vegetarian
Mhm.
for quite long time. When this transition happened? Because I know I lived in France for 7 years, and France being a country which is very known for its cuisine, which is very traditionally, putting all the animal products in all the dishes.
Mhm.
So when was the time you became a vegetarian? Uh, let me.
Yes. Um, it's a funny story. In France, because of me as a good Frenchman eating meat, having lots of fun to eat barbecue, meat, hamburger, and at my 20s, it was this food I ate. Um, and one day, I had uh, uh, a girlfriend, not my girlfriend, a friend I like, and she was very how to say militantist.
Strict, strict
No, not in yes, strict, but more in a political way. I don't know in English what we say this. Um,
commanding.
Commanding, yes, we can say maybe this. Uh, it's more. I will find. Oh, it's the same. It's the same activist. She was
Okay.
an activist French woman who defends the right of animals. And she say, "Oh, you can't eat this poor animals. Do you know how they are killed for you to eat these animals?" And at that time, I didn't know anything about this. And I start to see some movies or video concerning this fact. Um, and it was not so funny as I expected. It was not very funny at all. It was very difficult, enormous, very difficult. And I see the suffering of the animals, and I still see in my mind the suffering of the animals when I recall this memory. And yeah, it was very horrible to see how much the animals are suffered from the joy of people as me in my life at the time by eating meat and so on just for my pleasure. And that I realized that no, I can't eat all this food or this meat anymore because of what I have seen. Too much suffering for this, and why I participate of this destruction of life. No, 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 I can't anymore eating meat. So it was very a difficult situation at that time for me I still like meat, but in the same time, I see the suffering of animals, and I start to find other alternative of not eating all this meat. It was not easy because of in France, as you know, there is more lots of education about this, and me only this girlfriend helps me to understand a little bit this, and that I start to eat less meat. I start to just acting on this way, and sometimes when I see possibility of not eating meat, sometimes I choose to not eat meat, and progressively I reduce my hamburger. And I put at the place more aspect of vegetarians, not vegan, vegetarianism at the beginning, because after vegan, I realized veganism in my mind, but in the reality, sometimes I still eat some cheese and some eggs. I help by not taking too. I, 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 I do my best to not taking some eggs from very industrial way. I try to find eggs from it's not chicken, it's uh, a poule, uh, eggs from
And
hen, poule,
mhm,
from chicken, poule, ouais.
mhm.
From chicken, and to not participate too much of this industry. But I still have to find some things concerning this. About the cheese, now I'm in a position of not taking cheese from cows, only from small animals, in respect, if possible. Uh, Sometimes I buy my cheese in the place of my village, or there is someone who is local person who do his own cheese. So I try to do as this action a very low impact concerning the animals. About this, concerning the animals, because of taking this reality very early, so in 2025. So it's almost 15, almost 20 years. I'm considering the suffering of the the animal kingdom. I start to do my best as I can. Because of some my past action, I decide to do action in the other way. For example, when I was in a Buddhist center, a monks invited us to buy some worms. Sometimes we find in jardinerie, in a place where there is some animals in France, where there is also plants and so on. For these worms sometimes are sold for the person who fish, to do some apart for the nourriture. So these monks advise us to buy this portion of worms, and to go back to Earth, and that's a way to save life from evident trouble if they are bought by some people who fish and so on. So it was some action like this. I tried to for recalibrate my karma with the animals. and also do some action concerning doing some act concerning the human animal kingdom. I start to not kill insects, such as every insect in reality. I let how is it called, moustique
Mosquito
mosquitoes
bite,
to bite me, or to take
blood.
my blood. And sometimes I just tick 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 tick, and it's for me an opportunity to go to give what I have taken before. And that's the small things I do for recalling this act of myself, and helping the diversity. Also to work on the garden. I help sometimes to build some small a place for insects, or for hérissons, or for some animals, to help them to find a quiet place. And that's my contribution for them.
Wow.
Veganism is not a very yeah, I still have sometimes like a little bit eggs, and
Mm, that's amazing transformation, Matthew. For a French person to become a vegetarian itself a great,
Mm.
great task.
Yeah.
And you are doing that, and I have to hats off to you. Um, Wonderful. So yeah, uh, from a normal person, you pursued your pursuit for knowing yourself. You found it, and now
Mm.
you are a non-violent being trying to be a vegetarian wherever possible. You are also trying to be a vegan. That is very good, and you are now helping everyone to understand themselves
Yeah.
by sharing your wisdom and sharing your energy, of course.
Mm.
And hope we would make use of this wisdom wisely, and we will also be uh, Maitreya 2, Maitreya 3, Maitreya 4.
Huh? Yeah. Well.
Yeah. So, any message for us, like what we have to do, what we have to,
Mm.
how we have to be.
Mm. Um, the main point is next, seeing that as a practitioner, the main point, maybe you have heard of lots in my journey, is the suffering. The suffering is the base of when we are not enlightened. Suffering is the thing we have to see until we realize our nature. So suffering, whatever suffering appears, is to be considered, to go for going beyond. This is the problem. This is also the solution. In the suffering, when we see the suffering, we have start to go from ignorance to non-ignorance, and non-knowing to knowing is the fourth step for being oneself. And so This first part is difficult because most of the time after suffering is the anger to not realize who we are. And that's the easy solution at that time is to renounce of being angered by anything. Recognize the suffering after seeing the anger, renounce to anger, to see after the desire or the craving of wanting something or something else. And that is to renounce also for being more in a position of seeing the ignorance behind everything of this. And that, when the ignorance is removed, the benefit is coming. So this is the suffering, and the problem of the suffering at the cause is this ignorance or the thirst to know who we are, or also the anger to not being oneself. And when we understand this, we renounce to this suffering because of this understanding, and that helps us to go on the way of our enlightenment, and we realize enlightenment. And after we can see more easily, we can think more easily, we can talk more easily, we can act more easily, we can find solution for humanity more easily, we can do efforts more easily. We can be more attentive, we can be more attentive of everything we can see. And at the end, we are more concentrate of everything more easily. This path is very interesting for those who want to liberate themselves. It's from someone who has realized this path by seeing clearly that is the steps: suffering, cause, cessation, and the way. The four steps, or the four truths. That's yeah.
That's a wonderful message, Maitreya. Literally, yeah, as they say, suffering is due to individuals' ignorance. And whenever we suffer, we have to understand that because of our own ignorance that we are suffering. As that is the key that I took from your message. And from that to a point where liberty, happiness, blissfulness, and joy. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your energy and ideas and wisdom.
Mhm.
Thank you so much, Matthew, the Maitreya, and keep coming, keep doing, keep sharing till the point we all become Maitreyas. Thank you.